value of collaborative task management cannot be understated. If you're looking for success in anything that you're doing, you have to ground it in some form of task management. And today, we're going to talk about some of those key elements and show you some financials built on a scenario. So you'll have to, apply it to your environment. But we'll show you that task management actually will make you and your team more efficient, save money, and allow you to really execute whatever project or environment that you're in. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. And we have just some, there you go, we'll go straight to it. So the labor. So the labor savings, the scenario that we're drawing out here is a team of 30 that average 5 tasks per day. Now, some will ask, well, what are the tasks? And yeah, you can get down into the weeds on micromanaging people with their tasks. But in my book, if they're doing 5 tasks a day, they're doing something. Now, if their direction is not exactly what you need, well, the task management environment is going to allow you as a leader to see what it is that they're doing and be able to make adjustments along the way, not punitively or as somebody that's watching over your employees' shoulders, because I guarantee you that does not end well. But you can curve the way everybody is going based on what tasks they're doing. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. We're looking here at they're doing 30 tasks a day. That means a team of 30 people are doing approximately 150 tasks every day. All right, which calculates out to be roughly 37,500 tasks every year. Now, the industry benchmark, and I have experienced this personally on multiple occasions with large teams, is between 15 and 30% time savings, or I really like to call it efficiencies that you gain. Now remember, task management, although I don't really spell it out in this paper, but one of the huge advantages of task management is the ability that you and everybody on your team has to stay focused. Look, everybody has days where you're less motivated to really produce strong results. But when you have tasks and you can see that they're due, and most of the time they're self-imposed due dates, but you see, hey, I got to get these 3 things done so I can move to this. When you see those, it's motivating for you. You don't have to spend time, especially if you're tired. Oh, now what do I need to do? And then you just kind of look around and get lost, and you don't really, a lot of times, speaking from experience, you kind of get lost in the clutter and you don't really get done what you want or need to get done for that day. So some of the efficiencies that you gain here are really on that type of environment, right? Being able to foster this, I'm going to get it done kind of attitude. In addition, tasks allow for efficient and effective follow-up. So as you log in tasks, personally, I like to keep like a work journal in each task. So you can just put the date and time of what you're working on, just so when you come back to that task, you immediately know where to start. Or if you flip or assign that task to another team member, they can immediately get going, and you don't have to go back and forth with email constantly trying to figure out what the other person's doing. And it's just not, it creates an amazing amount of redundant work that really eats into the efficiency of the team. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on to the next screen here. But to summarize here, out of an 8-hour work day, usually we're talking an hour savings in that day, an hour that they get back, 1/8 of their day they get back by just doing task management. All right. So what does that look like as far as a cost savings? Remember, we're running on a set scenario. This scenario of, 30, whatever it is, 30 employees, 5 tasks a day, right? That's the scenario we're running. And we're saying that the average hourly rate is $50 to $65. It's a full burdened cost. So we'll just round it out there at $60. Now, for some of your employees, that's low. And especially those that you have doing development work and cyber and things of that nature, that cost goes up. So you'll have to consider that as you do your calculations. So the calculation is pretty easy. If we say 1 hour saved per employee per day, that's 30 hours saved a day, right? Because you have 30 employees times 1. And I've tried to do the math here so that you can build your own equations. That's 7,500 hours per year with, if they're working 250 work days. And that's about a $450,000 cost savings or, reallocation of that cost or whatever that you need to do. This truly allows for you to see the gain in that cost. Now, what's not put here into the cost savings is, all of the time, the morale of the employee, the speed at which the employee is executing tasks. Look, in most task management environments that I've implemented, employees are more satisfied because they're clicking off the box saying that they're done, right? And it's kind of that whole video game concept, and it is very, very motivating for people. The value statement, you can read that. It's really driven by this efficiency. If we round out to about 20%, we're really increasing our annual ability to do more tasks. Again, doing more with less also feeds into this, and then you can see kind of some of the other cost stuff in the document. I'm going to leave the document link inside of the description. Now, so do you buy or do you build? So, there's a lot of thought on this. You're going to have to kind of make that decision. For me personally, the Office 365 environment with Power Apps, and then of course, and I put up here using resources like this YouTube video. On this channel, I have literally hundreds of videos related to Power Automate and Power Apps. And so you can build a task management program. It's not that difficult to build. And it gives you more flexibility. For me, I don't want just a start date and a due date. I want a follow-up date. Because when I start a task, let's say I have 10 tasks that I'm working, and I know that I'm not going to start them all today. So I'm going to kind of map them out on when I'm going to start them, right? Maybe a few, every day, or one a day for 10 days, or however I do that. And then I'll have different varying due dates. And the follow-up date is the date in between the due date and the start date. So that's your progress date. Kind of shows you that the task is alive and that you're making progress on it. So I put some numbers down here. Internal development, 50 hours at $50 an hour. You're going to spend approximately, $2,500, $3,500. And then your sustainment cost of a custom app. It's really not a custom app per se. It's written in Microsoft. So, you'll have to figure out what that is. And so that's kind of my thoughts on in-house versus purchase. All right. So what are some of the needs that you have? I'm going to go through this section. I think is the most insightful of this whole paper. And really it talks about understanding your needs for a task management program. And so you need to be clear on it when you start evaluating task management applications or you build your own. The first one is collaboration. So I want a collaborative environment to share information, my work notes, points of contact. I want to be able to plug in URLs, attach files. I want to be able to send an email directly from the task to users and have that email capture information that's related to that specific task. I want all that from one place so that I'm not bouncing around to 4 different places trying to figure out where everything is in my environment. So collaboration and those type of tools, huge. Level of effort. I want to be able to track level of effort, that I can see what I'm doing in relationship to my estimated time that I've said I'm going to do it in. This allows me to do load balancing of staff from a leadership position, but it also gives me insight as to how difficult tasks are, where people are spending most of their time, things of that nature, and allows as a leader for you to shift things around inside of your environment. Custom automation, of course, you can build, which includes visualization and reporting, things of that nature. I want a gallery view, the ability to sort and filter my tasks in multiple ways. So that's something that I look for. I also want the ability to look at today's tasks. Now, I use it in a calendar view, today, tomorrow, and the next 3 days, and future and past tasks in different columns, so that I can see exactly what I need to do and move my tasks within that. That's a pretty common feature, by the way, in most task management applications. Task prioritization, you want to be able to look at your tasks for the day and then reorder them on the fly to say, okay, I've got 5 things I have to do today. Which is number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I can just put a number in, hit save, and it'll reorganize my tasks so that I can view my tasks easily and get to work. Of course, I want to make sure that it's offered. The task management has to work on a mobile device. You have to be able to do task management anytime, anywhere. So these are just some of the hints and tips that you may want to look at, and you can read some of the more details when you download the paper. You can also, of course, purchase. There's lots of tools out there that you can purchase a task management solution, or you could use tools that are already built, for example, within your Office 365 environment. Google Suite has their solutions as well, but Planner is absolutely an option for you, although it is a little restrictive. Like, you use it the way they want you to use it. There's no customizing, things of that nature. And its integration with like Gantt charts and other advanced reporting and other automation that you may want to add to a task environment is very, very limited. But it's a great place to start for task management, and it does work well. I will tell you, having run a very large planner environment, you can feel like you're drowning in tasks because it doesn't do an overly good job of being able to kind of sort through things, but it does a spectacular job at collaboration, collecting comments, adding attachments. It's really a strength. So check it out. Evernote, OneNote, To-Do, all of these applications, very inexpensive. OneNote, I understand, is leaving us, so you may not want to invest a lot there, but Evernote, these type of applications all have task features within them. Look, this has been great talking to you about task management and the collaboration effort. If you're really serious about being successful at what you do, you have to know where the target is. You cannot get there unless you know where you're going. And task management will get you where you need to go. Get out of your inbox. The inbox is just a pit of sorrow. You got to go through your email, but get out of there so that you can be in control of how you prioritize to do your work in a day, instead of having the inbox control how and what you do for that day. Task management will save your organization money. I have used task management for over 40 years now, and it has always provided great cost savings and great efficiency and morale building results. So good luck with yours.